Parents know the struggle. A child will eagerly fail a video game level 36 times, mashing the restart button to try a new strategy. But hand them a standard math worksheet, and the first sign of friction results in immediate frustration and avoidance. This gap in persistence comes from the immediate feedback loops inherent in digital play, which signal success and failure more rapidly and clearly than a static worksheet. Parents often feel a lingering guilt when handing over a tablet, operating under the assumption that screen time is purely a passive activity, that valid learning only happens when sitting quietly at a desk with a pencil. Evaluating these digital environments requires looking past the clock to see the specific mental actions the child must perform to stay in the game. Effective learning environments provide the structural support that makes high effort feel worthwhile, turning potential frustration into sustained persistence. For years, educational games relied on the flawed formula. They would let a child play a fun level and then suddenly pause the action to force them to answer an isolated math question. The learning was entirely separate from the play. A much more effective approach relies on a concept called naturalistic teaching. This places the learning opportunities directly inside meaningful, enjoyable activities, rather than separating every skill into a formal lesson. Under this model, the learning is built into the actual mechanics. To advance to the next round, a player has to actively use cognitive skills like sequence recognition, quick visual discrimination, or sustained attention. When educational content is woven deeply into the experience, children can practice these important skills while feeling like they are simply playing with their friends. The reason well-designed games hold attention so tightly is that they utilize the same behavioral science framework studied in applied behavior analysis to motivate human behavior. This diagram shows positive reinforcement. Immediate feedback tells the brain, "That worked, try it again." The structure evolves through shaping. Games reinforce progressively closer approximations to a target skill, improving one step at a time. They also rely on prompting and fading. A game provides initial scaffolding to help someone respond, but gradually removes that help so the learner can respond independently. These invisible mechanics create an environment where a wrong answer becomes useful information. Mistakes are treated as a normal part of the learning process, turning what would normally be a frustrating failure into an active cycle of iteration and discovery. Think. Multiplayer is a purpose-built environment designed to channel these exact behavioral principles toward positive cognitive development. When players face a timed matching challenge in the game, they have to actively utilize their working memory to hold information in mind and apply visual discrimination to quickly spot differences in order to succeed. And because it involves human opponents, the unpredictable nature of multiplayer play requires constant adaptation. Navigating a sudden rule change or waiting for another player's turn creates natural, repeated opportunities to practice flexible thinking and emotional regulation. While Think Multiplayer uses these established learning principles to help children practice skills, it is strictly an educational game. It is not a diagnostic tool, it is not ABA therapy, and never a medical treatment for conditions like autism or ADHD. By operating as a supplemental educational tool, the game shows that purposeful progress and genuine fun can coexist in a safe, social space. There is one final hurdle in digital learning, a concept known as generalization. This is the challenge of ensuring a skill learned in a pixelated world successfully transfers to the physical world. A child demonstrating flexible problem-solving or good sportsmanship inside a multiplayer match does not guarantee they will automatically utilize those same skills at the dinner table. To bridge that gap, adults play a critical role. The key catalyst for generalization is intentional parent co-play and post-game conversation. You can connect the digital experience to real life by asking specific questions after a match. Ask them, "What strategy did you use when you made a mistake?" Or, "Where could we use that skill in real life?" Intentional involvement transforms a solitary digital experience into a shared foundation for real-world growth. Sometimes the most important lessons are the ones hidden right inside the fun. Learning can feel like play. Think. Multiplayer launches August 1, 2026.